Chapter 16. King Foo the First. Edward and the lad walked for a long way. Then the king stopped and said, "Where are you taking me? I shall not walk on. I shall stop where I am. Hendon must come to me, not me to him." But the lad answered, "Do you want to stay here when your friend is lying, wounded in the wood?" "Wounded?" cried the king. "Wounded? Let us hurry then. Quick, quick, my lad. Where is the wood?" The lad led him on until they came to an old farmhouse with a barn near it. They entered the barn. No Hendon there. The king looked angrily at the lad and asked, "Where is he?" A mocking laugh was the answer. John Canty, who had followed them all the way, stood before him.
"So you have run from your father?"
The king said to him angrily, "You are not my father. I do not know you. I am the king. If you have hidden my servant, find him for me, or I shall order to hang you."
"You are mad, it is quite clear,"
answered John Canty.
"I don't want to beat you, but if you continue to talk like that, I shall have to give you a good whipping. Don't forget that I have killed a man and cannot stay at home, and I cannot leave you there because I need your help. My name is changed now. It is Hobbs, John Hobbs. And remember that your name is Jack now, not Tom. Where is your mother and your sisters? They did not come to the place I told them to. Do you know where they are?"
The king said, "Do not ask me about your family. I don't know anything." The youth that had brought Edward to the wood began to laugh, but Canty, or Hobbs, as he now called himself, stopped him and said,
"Hugo, you must not quarrel with him. He is mad. Sit down, Jack, and rest a little."
Hobbs and Hugo began talking together in low voices, and the king went to the farthest corner of the barn as he wanted to be alone for a few minutes. Edward had no blanket, so he covered himself with straw. He lay in the corner of the barn and thought about the death of his dear father. There were tears on his face. After some time, he could not tell how long, he closed his eyes and fell asleep. Edward was awakened by a loud laughter and many voices talking together. He opened his eyes and saw a big crowd of people in rags. From their talk, he understood that all of them were thieves and beggars. He also understood that John Canty had been their friend for a long time. John Canty told them how he had killed a man. The others began to tell their stories too. One of these stories was very sad. "I was a farmer," began a man, whom everybody called Yokel. "I had a kind wife and nice children. Now I have neither a wife nor children. They are dead. I am glad that they died. My old mother tried to earn her bread. She took care of sick people. One of them died, and the doctors did not know why. So by the English law, she was burned for a witch, and my children stood and looked how it was done. English law. Stand up, all of you. Raise your cups and drink to the kind English law that killed an honest woman. Then I had to beg from house to house, I and my wife and the children. But the English law does not allow people to go hungry, so we were caught and whipped many times. Drink, all of you, to the kind English law which killed my wife by whipping her. As I could not see my children hungry, I begged again, and at last I was sold as a slave. A slave! Do you understand that word? An English slave. I have run away from my master, and when I am found, the English law will hang me." Suddenly, a loud voice was heard. "No, It will not hang you. I shall not allow it. All turned and saw the small figure of the little king who had come out of his corner. Who is it? What is it? Who are you? Cried many voices. I am Edward, King of England. Wild laughter followed. The angry king cried out, You, thieves and beggars, this is how you thank your king? The laughter grew louder and louder, and at last John Hobbs shouted to the crowd,
Friends, this is my mad son. Don't pay any attention to him. He thinks he is the king.
I am the king, said Edward proudly. The crowd of drunken people liked his words very much. Many voices began to shout, Long live Edward, King of England! The little king bowed his head and said, I thank you, my good people. The laughter grew even louder. Somebody shouted, Fufu the First, King of Fools! Soon the whole crowd was shouting, Long live Fufu the First! Before Edward could do anything, he was crowned with a tin basin, a dirty old blanket was put on his shoulders, and he himself was put on the throne, a barrel. Then all of them fell upon their knees and began to shout, Oh, sweet king! Oh, King Fufu! They laughed at him and pushed him and pretended to kiss his feet. Tears of shame and anger stood in the little king's eyes.